Lentotally had inappropriate messages with a minor. The amount of people who have blamed the victim based on what a criminal said makes me want to commit a crime. I know some people might comment about how I shouldn't be making this video this upset, but every time I do this, I get so angry because this is the worst possible outcome for this situation. He's in a position of power over a bunch of minors, and he's 20. You can make proper decisions at 20. Grooming, the action by a pedophile of preparing a child for meeting, especially via an internet chat room, with the intentions of committing a sexual offense. That's the crime he committed. I know he was in the Philippines, but it is illegal for sexual activity with minors in a situation like this because of the way it is carried out. It is manipulative, which would most likely be a offense. His original communication post reads as much as I hate drama, it's not going to end well for me. I'm highly aware. So what's wrong with that is, of course it's not going to end well for you if you are... Why would it? Why would this ever end well for you? Why did you even need to say that? Oh, yeah, that's right. To make people feel bad for you. It's the only reason you would ever say that, especially when you know a bunch of your fans are minors. Though again, my side... okay, so the next part is, though again, my side is always part of this. The evidence is true. As much as I regret it, I did such things to someone. So the problem with that is, just say what you did, because you know you have a bunch of minors in your fan base. Like, just say it. And, like, you need to just say what you did, otherwise they're going to be so confused, because why would they already know? They're not gonna find any videos of you getting exposed and not just be angry and stuff. Or probably not watch it, because they think it's stupid, because they're minors. Okay, so the next part of it is, I'm sure the majority won't be on my side this time. Okay, yes, we all know this. Just, it's like, it's stalling. This is stalling. So then it reads, anyways, enough of that. Let me begin. Let me just call this person a her. I really have no intention to fall or like people younger than me, but this really started with that. I am not the one who initiated, but since it's so repetitive that it got out of hand, she started the flirting, and I shrugged it off at the first step, but yeah, it slowly got out of hand after that. The problem there is, it's probably not that's not her job to stop you from flirting back with her. It's your job to prevent this child from continuing flirting with you and sending you nudes and stuff. Like, if this is a child who looks up to you and likes you a lot, it's your job to protect the child. The child can't protect themselves. It's kind of the point of there being an age of consent. And then the next part is, she then bridged me to her friends. We all got close. I simply trusted them, so I connected and bonded with them, even if from my perspective it's pretty wrong. Sometimes their topics don't really fit their age group, but I don't think much of it at the time. I'm just there joining them to fit in. The problem there is, why are you trying to fit in with a bunch of 14-year-olds? Like, or they're all like around 14 because they're her friends, right? Why are you a 20-year-old trying to be friends with a bunch of 14-year-olds? Or like why are you doing that? Why is it something that you're doing? So the next part is, So I trusted her and all that. You can actually clearly see how close I am with them through our past videos. Okay, so now you're trying to show who this person is, even though you said you would only call them a her. You shouldn't say that if you are trying to keep their identity a secret. They don't want their identity out there as being someone who was groomed. So please don't say that ever. Okay? So the next part is, I have evidence myself, but it won't be enough to fight against that. Wait. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're close, because it doesn't matter if you're close to the child. You obviously can do that on purpose to manipulate the child. That's what grooming is. So the next part is, so the child grooming. It didn't really reach the point that I am affecting her life in a bad way. That's what I think anyway. It just made me and her. It was just me and her. The thing is that we are really open about each other and to have evidence of that. I guess my mistake is simply going with it, even if it got out of hand. I'm still to blame either way. You don't know if it's affecting her life in a bad way, and you shouldn't say or think that you have a right to decide if you think you're affecting this child's life in a bad way. Because if someone's affecting my life in a bad way, I wouldn't say anything about it ever, because, well, I'm not very secure in myself. Like most teenage girls, I'm not secure in myself. It's do you know how this stuff works? Or, it's just hard to have a high self-esteem when you're in puberty. So, obviously, she's not going to tell you if she's uncomfortable or if you're affecting her life badly. So next part is, as for the screenshots, it's those moments where she requested me to do intimate scenarios through roleplay. Okay, say no. You're an adult. You have the ability to just say no to that. No, let's not have a sex roleplay. Let's not do that, because it's really illegal, and you should find some other way to deal with your feelings and stuff. But no, you did this. You did this. This is why it's grooming, sir. Sir, please. Please use your brain. And then the next part is, there are multiple points that I strayed away from that friendship, because I'm highly aware of how wrong it is. We sometimes get into fights because of that. Be distant from each other until we just cut ties at one point. That has basically nothing to do with this situation. That doesn't change what you've done or anything, really. Just, you backed off. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next part is, I don't go and do these things to anyone I meet. I really have no intention of doing these actions from the beginning. I just treat them as adults. That's not how you should treat people who you know are minors. If you know someone's a minor, you cannot just treat them as an adult. You need to treat them as their age, otherwise they aren't going to have normal reactions. They're going to call themselves an adult. You're acting like they're an adult. You're not an adult. That's you. Okay, so the last part is, feel free to unsubscribe and or hate on me. This is grooming, not statutory rape, because why would this 14-year-old and 20-year-old be in contact unless the 14-year-old liked the 20-year-old's content and reached out, which creates a dangerous power dynamic. And if you're going to say maybe he started the contact, that's significantly worse, because then the 20-year-old is actively looking for a 14-year-old, because I'm assuming they definitely have this open if he knew, because why would the 14-year-old say they're 14 if they were having inappropriate messages? That's just not logical. So they probably had it open on their account in some way, which would be even worse. And like, we don't know who this is, so we don't know if they have other issues and like if they're going to be okay after this. So maybe we shouldn't keep on yelling at the victim. You don't decide if he should be forgiven. Only the victim does. He doesn't deserve this to be swept under the rug, and he has no right to have so many minors still look up to him. If you are a minor and still like him, please don't stay subscribed to him or follow any of his social media that are still in existence. Don't be like Lentotally.